Hello, my disciples. It is I, Ruko. And today we're going to be playing Cultist Simulator, a game that I've never played before. I assume it's a game about creating a cult. I am prepared for the job. I have my demonic cross. As you can see, I am all dressed for the job. No one will point me out in a crowd wearing this, right? In any case, I have heard that this game is hard, so I probably won't do well the first time. But without further ado, let's begin our cult. Alone in this chilly city, with my useless education and my dreams. What now? Could I be something more? Yes. Yes, I could. A precarious position as a hospital porter. Miserable. But it's all I can find just now. What is my name? I am the abominable Yeb. That's right, my disciples. That is my new name in this strange, irrational world we live in. Slot work. We shall mentally employ ourselves until a time when we can begin our true work. Another shift, mopping the darkened hallways, delivering post to hollow-eyed invalids, trundling corpse-laden gurneys to the basement. Halfway through your shift, the head porter beckons you aside. We won't require your services any longer, he says. Here, your last payment. We've paid through the end of the month. I've lost my job. At least now, I have a little time to rest, and my health improves. Wonderful. What have I dreamed? It began when I spoke to the old man in the hospital. He knew my name, but he's dead now. The pneumonia. Why do I dream of him still? What is this cobalt light in my dreams? Contentment. I'm happy, I think. Contentment defends against dread. Passion. Dull minds are never either intuitive or mathematical. Oh, a cult leader can move these tiles anywhere they wish. Wonderful. The old man has bequeathed me a sum of money and a packet of peculiar papers. Poetry, riddles, metaphysical speculations. For the first time in months, here is some fuel for my reason. Study is unlocked. Passion must be tempered with reason. I must study it using either passion or reason. For now, I will study it with reason. You know, people said this game was hard, so I think I'm probably gonna make the wrong choice. This is probably the wrong choice. I mean, it's always the right choice. I always make the right choice. I'll examine each item with meticulous care. My correspondent describes my dreams exactly. They use names that are instantly familiar. The house, the wood, the hours, the glory. They knew secrets beneath time and the skin of the world. A new curiosity burns in me. There is a note here. Directions to a bookshop that does not advertise its wares. I must have funds to live, or I will become ill. It has occurred to me that I hold key to wisdom. This card will allow you to win an enlightenment victory if you upgrade it far enough. Cryptic directions to obscure address of a certain Moreland, a dealer in the rare assault of books. For now, I will study directions to this strange shop. Now that I've found a location, I can explore it. Wonderful. Explore the city with health or followers, explore locations, or investigate the possibilities of lore. An ill-lit street and an ill-favored bend in a lesser river. A soft yellow light through a grimy window. Miss Moreland nods as I enter, but doesn't rise. I never ask the names of my clients, she informs. Whoop whoop, I got books. Sorry, I've got books. We shall study these occult scraps. Oh, I can put passion or reason into work. Man needs work if he's to survive. Work is work, and there is nothing else for me yet. The scratching of pens, the sourness of dust, the sighing of the younger Glover, the greedy gurgling of the elders. I could buy a book, But am I going to be screwing myself by losing funds? Very possible. but we have to explore the limits of the game. We must learn what this is all about. Ah, wait a minute. I've attracted attention, so they say. Stay for now. The meddler's attention must be elsewhere. Oh, what's this? An acquaintance. I await an answer to a letter. And now I have an address. I'll dispatch a letter and propose a meeting. Talk is unlocked. I will study a watchman's secret. Is there anything I can study it with? No, not at the moment. I will study the world. The world is awash with printed words. Even the newspapers contain knowledge. I have found something noteworthy. Ha! Knowledge of Latin. How lovely. Seek out the secret places of this city. There are places in the city where I can find extraordinary things, if I can sift through the clues out of history and rumor. I suspect this to be dangerous, but we must take risks if we are to discover. There's always someone who doesn't understand, or who understands too well. This troublemaker may seek evidence on my activities to share with the authorities. A weary detective. This gentleman would much rather be left alone with his pipe and his illustrated London news, but no, apparently some conjurer of abominations has to be hunted down like a mad dog, and apparently no one else can find the time. Silly, silly man. You silly, silly man. I'm not even a cultist at this point. The reply to your letter is courteous, if cautious. They are intrigued by how you found their name. Intrigued enough to meet you. Victor, an acquaintance. Victor is a sly fellow, and he knows an unusual opportunity when he sees it. You might be able to recruit this acquaintance as a follower. Together we might be more. Let us talk, you and I, Victor. I have begun my true work. The authorities will take an interest in it. I must be ready for them. You have begun to establish your cult. It will need a little more before you can recruit followers. Notoriety. Certain acts are not quickly forgotten. Notoriety may allow hunters to build a case against you. Let us talk to this wonderful detective. Perhaps we could parley, or perhaps I could send something to ambush them. How about we talk, you and I, detective? I'm not up to anything strange. No siree. What have I discovered? The words contained knowledge. Now I contain it. It is a little like a theft, a little like feasting, and a little like the progress of an infectious disease. Erudition, what is this? I soak up knowledge as the shadow soaks up light. I may be close to advancement. It lasts only 3 minutes if unused, so I have to use it now. More extradition. So you're saying I have to study reason more? Well, I suppose I must study more to find the real answers I seek. This place merits closer investigation. What did I gain? St. Agnes Hospital. They did good work here once. Certainly there were few too many amputations, but then there are individuals one would prefer not to walk the city streets. Unique can only exist once. They said before that I can sometimes send my followers too, so maybe it's better to wait. Oh my. Leader, assistant funds, further funds, goodness gracious. Clearly that's not happening right now. This was rash. Perhaps I shouldn't have exposed myself so. Oh, dilly-dally. Well, shite. I guess that didn't work out too well. Got some extra notoriety. Found a mystical organization. Here is someone I can work with. A companion or a follower. But first I must give them something to follow. Maybe I have nothing to follow. Maybe I don't have a cult yet. A trembling in the air. The sun flickers like a shadow. Dreams ripple behind the surface of mirrors. I must be careful not to drift from the waking world. Got another book. But is it just a regular book? Dream Journals of Christopher Illapalais, sometimes called the only readable occultist. Literate, entertaining, bewildering. This is the second volume. Why would I get the second volume before I got the first volume? That is my big question to you. Why? Extradition. Finally. Now what does this do? I have picked up odd facts here and there. If I spend my time studying what I've learned, it could increase my reason. Oh, I must choose a founding principle. Tradition and compulsion, old and new, are both together. Add law to determine your cult's founding principle. A watchman's secret. But I don't even understand the watchman's secret. I feel that I'm not well versed enough in the law to choose an actual doctrine. I will finally study this Latin grammar. All the good cultist needs to know Latin. That's just the basics. Fascination. Light leaks through the cracks. My mind is brighter than it ever was. The higher I rise, the more I see. What does this do? Oh. Sickness. I have become unwell. An affliction. This illness has damaged my health, and I'll need to rest before I'm able to fully recover. Funds or vitality? Well, gotta use funds. This game is very complex. I didn't know much about this game when I got in. I should choose a founding principle so we can actually start that cult. Dedicated to light that leaks from a fiercer place. Oh, okay, so I can talk out loud. That sounds like it will gain me like a lot of notoriety. A cult with one member is only an unusual habit. I must have a recruit. We finally have our first recruit. You've come to our side, how wonderful. A sly fellow, but loyal. To promote a believer to a disciple, I'll need to provide an appropriate aspect for the cult, to at least the 7th intensity. Hunters with evidence of occult activities become more dangerous. Evidence may survive the death of the hunter who created it. I mean, what are they gonna do? I haven't done anything illegal. Don't think so. Ah, an acquaintance. How wonderful. Now, who could you be? Kat Caro, as she styles herself, earns a living as a stage medium and a fortune teller. She may have deeper talents. This one is ready. A dozen lights blaze. There is no place for shadow in these rites, and no place for mercy. A watchful woman who recalls her dreams perfectly. A believer. Wonderful. What is happening here? Patron, perhaps. Mystique. Uncanniness lingers. Mystique may attract the attention of hunters. They can't use it to build a case against you, but it will encourage them to look harder. Poppy Lascelles. How wonderful, Poppy. Yes. Yes, quite. Well, last time we used fascination. I'll use passion this time. The world is leashed of light. You can defeat despair by feeding it contentment, otherwise it will destroy you when it reaches 3 dread. Oh, shit. Oh, this is quite handy. A tiny packet of tiny treasures, a gift from Poppy. She'll see me again in the season of rags. For me to make the introduction, I promised. Ooh, you gave me a lot of money. Silver Spintria. Initiates of the hidden world use Spintria to pay for services. They can easily be sold for more traditional funds. Silver Spintria are more valuable and usually display scenes of debauchery on their reverse side. Well, fascinating. Well, suddenly I'm not in a bad financial situation. I am, in fact, a terribly respectful cultist. Okay, but I've been playing this game for a long time now. Wowzers. I did not know what I was getting into when I started playing this game. It is fun, but it's really complicated. I will have to play it probably a lot to really get the hang of it. That is going to be it for this episode of Cultist Simulator. Glory to the Watchman's secret. And until next time, good night, you sweet, bloody bastards. Good night.